Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sonia, and on today's tutorial I'm going to be learning how to draft the pattern of this beautiful gown. This tutorial is beginner friendly, so if you're a beginner, you're in the right place. Please do like, share and subscribe, and let's dive right into it. So guys, in our last tutorial about how to draft the corset, the lines were faint and people were complaining about not seeing the line, so I ensured I got a marker. I'm so sorry about that. So the first thing we're going to be doing is to mark our half length. The half length of this gown is 17 inches, so I'll go straight to where 17 inches is on my paper. I'm going to put my tape from the beginning of the paper down to 17 inches, and I pick my marker up and then mark 17 inches. After doing that, guys, I'm going to pick up my straight ruler and then connect the line on a straight line like that, and I'm labeling it half length. Then I'm going to pick up my tape and then check out the length of this gown. The full length of this gown is supposed to be 37 inches, but the length of my paper is 28 inches. And remember, we're going to be attaching a pleating or a gathers at the down, so I'm going to be using this 28 inches as the main length before we are going to be adding our gathers. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to determine my chest line. That's how deep you want the chest to be exposed. I'm going to be using 7 inches. So I'm going to take my marker and mark 7 inches there, and I'll mark it across so I can get a straight line just like that. Guys, this is very clear compared to the last video. So thank God for the marker. So I'm going to connect it with the ruler on a straight line like so, and then I'm going to label it chest line. Hope you're following. Next thing, I'm going to be marking my shoulder. My shoulder is 16 inches divided by 2, that's 8. I'll go down there and mark 8 inches. Then I'm going to come down by 9 inches, just like that. You can use 9, you can use 8, depending on how big the person is. So I'm going to also mark my 8 inches down there so that I can connect a straight line from that top down, just like that. Then I'm going to also extend my line to give like an L shape down there as my armhole line. Guys, after doing that, I'm going to mark my dart line. I'm going to be using 4.5. My dart is 9 inches divided by 2, 4.5. Then I'm going to come down 4.5. I'm going to also put it at the half length and also the full length of this. Not the full length, but the length that the full length of the paper. Then I'm going to use my straight line to connect it like that. The next thing I'm going to do is to come on the half length and with my tape and mark ½ inch at one side of the line and ½ inch at the other side of the line, just as I'm doing it like that. Then I'm going to take my straight ruler, connect from that upper part, just the way I'm doing it there. From that upper part, I'm going to connect it to that ½ inch and the other side as well, just like so. And I'm also going to connect it from that down to the half length, just like that. This is our dart line. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to mark the neckline. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to be using 4 inches by 3.5. So I'm marking 4 inches at that end and I'm coming down with 3.5. Remember, the neckline is not that deep. So I'm going to now use my free hand to connect the line in a curve. Remember, it's a round neck. After doing that, I'm going to come down on my armhole slope, my shoulder slope, which is 1 inch. I'll come down 1 inch like that. Then from that top of that shoulder, I'm going to connect with that 1 inch I just came down from, just like that, just the way I'm doing it. Then after doing that, I'm going to check the midpoint of that 9 inches I marked, which is 4.5. At that point, I mark 4.5. I'm going to come in with ½ inch. Then I pick out my armhole curve, my curved ruler. Then I will come in, I will make sure these 3 lines touch the 1 inch and then the ½ inch that I came in with, and then that line that looks like an L shape. just like that. Up next, I'm going to be marking my bust line, my waistline, and my hip line. So the bust of this particular dress is 42. 42 divided by 4 will give you 10.5 inches plus 2 inches allowance. That is 12.5 inches. So remember to add your allowance. Then the waistline is 34 divided by 4, which is going to give you, I think I folded it there and I got 8.5 plus 2 inches allowance. So I'm going to mark my hip line. My hip line, I'm coming down from that half length by 9 inch. Then I'll mark the 9 inch there. Now mark the 9 inch across so that I can get a straight line just like that. And pick out my straight roller and connect it as well. The hip for this is 42 as well. That's 10.5 plus 2 inches allowance. Then now I'm going to pick up my roller and connect all these lines. I use my straight roller to connect from the armhole line to the half line. Then I take my curved ruler to connect the hip line just like that. So I'm going to extend the line downwards so that I can get a proper curve too. So I'm going to use my curved ruler to connect it like that. Thank you for coming this far in this tutorial. Please, if you know you have not subscribed, please subscribe to help this community grow, and thank you. Next, we're going to mark in the depth of our the keyhole neckline. First of all, this is going to be a combination of a sweetheart neckline and a keyhole neckline. So I came down there by 8 inches, and then I'm going to come down from now that neckline by 2 inches. So after marking that 2 inches there, you remember I came down with 8 inches and then I marked 2 inches from the neckline. Please don't forget. I used my armhole curve to connect in a beautiful sweetheart neckline like that. And I'm going to still use my curved ruler. I'm going to have to turn it upside down to get the exact curve that we saw in the video. So we're going to, I think this is the curve. So we're going to now connect it like this. So you can decide to come down and make it more exposed than this. Later on, I went and deepened the sweetheart neckline, so you can make it deeper than that. But yeah, that's how we achieved that neckline. So I'm just using my marker to make the line more noticeable, more visible for you to see. So the next thing I'm going to do is come up from the bottom by 4, and I'm going to mark it that 4 inches up, because we're going to be having like a back line there. So I'm going to use my straight ruler to connect. But before I do that, remember we added 2 inches, so I'm going to extend that 2 inches up. Then from that 2 inches I extended, which is the main, please let it be that the way I did it. Do it like that. Don't go from the end to extend, because you will not get what you're looking for. So just come in on a straight line, then from that straight line, that 2 inches like that, then you use your straight ruler to curve it for you to get it to come out well for you. So after doing that, the next thing we're going to do is to cut it out. But before I do that, we're going to use it to cut the back and bodice with this. So guys, when we're done, next thing we did is I took a plain paper and I started marking 2 inches across the paper just like this. The 2 inches will serve as our zipper allowance. So I'm going to be marking it in multiple places so I can connect it with my straight line, just as we have been doing. So guys, next thing I did was to pick up my front bodice and then place it just there before after the zipper allowance line. Then I mark all the points to transfer from the front bodice to the back bodice, instead of marking them and remeasuring again. So I'm going to use my straight line to connect all these lines that we did already from the front bodice, just like this. Then when I'm done, I'm going to take my straight ruler to connect them like this, and then the curved ruler to also connect the hip line just like so. Easy peasy, right? So now I'm going to pick up my tape and then measure 8 inches on the chest line, so that I'll be able to get a straight line from my shoulder, from my armhole line. So after marking 8 inches, I'm going to pick up my ruler and then connect it on a straight line. Now in the front bodice, remember we came in from the midpoint of 4.5 by half. There'll be no need for the back to do that at the back. So what I'm going to do now is to just take up my armhole curve and then just place it the way I'm placing it now on that line, and then placing my curve. I'm going to be curving it just like that. You're not coming in by anything, so you just curve it just like that. On my neckline, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Remember in the video of the style we are trying to draft, the neckline was high, so I'm going to connect to the 4-inch line. I'm going to connect it like that in a curve, and then I'm going to pick up my ruler and then extend the line down to the zipper allowance just like that. Then I'm going to just label my zipper allowance. So now the next thing I'm going to be doing is to form a, to avoid bulging at the back of the zip, you have to they have to make the zipper allowance to be curved. So what I'm going to do is to come in from that zipper allowance by 1 inch like that. I'm trying to extend the line so that I can know where I'm placing my tape. So I'm going to come in by 1 inch just like that, and then I'm going to go out by 1 inch there. So I'm coming in and I'm going out there to replace what I'm about to take out. So after doing that, I'm going to reconnect the line to the new 1 inch I added there from the waistline, and then also from the arm from the hip line as well, just like so. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take out my my curved ruler, and then I'm going to connect the line like that. I'm going to place it on the neckline in a curved form, just the way I'm doing it now. I'm going to be blending it in like that to meet the 1 inch I have marked. So I'm going to, just the way I'm doing it like that. So I'm going to also connect it down the bottom part, the same curve. So guys, thank you so much for coming this far. Please, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and help this community grow. And yeah, thank you so much. So the next I'm going to do is to come in from that line now with another 1 inch. That place, mark on that 1 inch inside. So I'm going to still use my curve ruler to connect the new zipper allowance like that. So I'm going to connect it. That's our new zipper allowance line. I'm still going to connect it to the other line. So I'm meeting it from the 2 inches from the top to 2 inches from the down. So that is basically it for this tutorial. The next thing I'm going to do is to be cutting off my bodice. I'm going to be doing the cutting now. So the first thing I'm going to cut out that excess of that zipper allowance. Please, you can do it straight, but it's not advisable. Once you do it straight, the zipper will not be balanced. And remember to put your darts on the back bodice when you are sewing. I did not mark the dart line. It was an oversight, but remember you're still going to mark your darts across the back bodice. And yeah, that's basically it for that. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to also cut the front bodice. Remember there's going to be a yoke in the front, so I came down 1 inch from the front at that sweetheart neckline. So I'm cutting out the yoke, just trimming out that out of it. So you can decide to trim out the darts and do a joining, or you can decide not to. So the down part, I'm cutting out the backs line from the front and the back at the same time. See, I came out from the zipper. I did not join the zipper in the cutting. So just like that. So this is how it's going to look like. I'm going to take up my camera and show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like: the back bodice and the back bodice, and then the front bodice. Thank you so much, and see you in the next tutorial. I don't take your coming here for granted, and God bless you. Bye.